Well, it's a bad list to land on. A group called the Economic Innovation Group says Milwaukee is the third most economically distressed large city in the country. Here to explain how we landed on this list and how they got their results, Casey Geraldo.
Yes, the group used 7 factors to figure out how well city economies are performing. The percent of people who had high school diplomas over 25 years old, housing vacancy rates, the unemployment rate, poverty level, median income, the percent of change in employment, and the percent of change in business establishments in a zip code. So I went out to talk to people to see what the figures look like in reality. Louis Caban has lived in 53204 most of his life.
Since 1967.
He likes this neighborhood, but can see why this study considers it distressed.
It's getting worse.
It's one of 3 Milwaukee zip codes included on the most distressed list: 53224, 53206, and 53204. Not all neighbors in 53204, which includes Walker's Point and historic Mitchell Street, agree with Caban.
I haven't had an issue.
One factor Tony Meyer does see: housing vacancy.
See some abandoned houses, not too many. This area is pretty good.
But Caban sees more issues, the study points out, like unemployment and poverty.
There's not too many jobs for us down here.
And again, housing vacancy.
Sometimes it's because it's either they don't pay rent or, they lay on the rent payment.
Meyer and Caban say crime is the area's biggest problem, even though it's not a factor in the study.
One thing I think Milwaukee has a problem right now is their crime and their shootings.
Caban thinks it's driven out businesses.
They all moved out because of the crime and all the stuff that is going on Mitchell Street.
I talked with the executive director of District 4 in charge of Mitchell Street. She tells me vacancies are actually down. While the mayor's office didn't get back to us, the State Department of Workforce Development says, quote, Transform Milwaukee has invested millions of dollars into the city and has increased services to help the city's workforce find and succeed in family-supporting jobs. Milwaukee joins other Great Lakes cities, Detroit, which is number 1, and number 8, Chicago, on the list.
It's hard to put that together for some people because if you live in one neighborhood in Milwaukee, you see how good the city is doing. I mean, parts of the city are doing great, but you go to zip codes like you visited today, and you do see the other side of the coin. Hopefully everybody realizes what we're really up against here.
Exactly, and a lot of people, I did a Twitter survey, and some people say every city has their issues, so.
All right, Casey Geraldo, thanks so much.